I feel like a broken record at this point because it seems like every single time I do some kind of a story that portrays black people in some kind of a light and they look at the children, something is automatically assumed. So if you do not know, I recently did a melanated excellence story about a man in Orlando creating an ATM business for his 4 children. Of course, the man was a black man, or is a black man. Now, when they looked at their children, the children were a bit on the lighter side. I'm not going to say light as like Steph Curry or Mariah Carey or nothing like that, but light to the point where you could not mistake them for passing as palm colored. They were light, but they were also, I would say they were like a brown color. Let's put it that way. You can clearly tell that they are black. So that was a very positive story that I decided to bring to the people. But of course, in typical fashion, I've had some black women come into the comment section, many of whom are subscribed to me, who probably won't be subscribed to me after this video, who have come in and left comments and saying, well, looking at his kids, what is the race of the mother? Where is the mother? So you mean the only time you will ever ask for the mother is when you look at the kids? Now, let me backtrack a little bit. I did a video about 4 black men in the D&U series where they all were responsible for an armed robbery in which a man was held up at gunpoint and had his gas tank, or his gas can, I should say, stolen from him. Not one time in that comment section did some of the women who was questioning about where the mother of to these 4 children with this man ask where the mother was or who raised these 4 when it came to those guys right there. I'll say that again. Not one time did I look in the comment section and see any of the women who was asking about where the mother was or who the mother is to those 4 children who had a business started for them, an ATM business by their black father. Never once did I see them ask where was the mother who raised these 4 black degenerates. Now there lies in the problem. So you will ask where the mother is for these 4 children when the father is doing something great for them. But you don't ask where the mother is when these 4 degenerates are out here holding people up for gas cans, especially in an economy where gas is very cheap. I know what it is. You do not want to see her take responsibility for not raising these kids or these black men the right way. But here you have a black father who is doing what he can with what he has for his children. And you question where the mother is and question who is she. Y'all are full of shit. For real. It's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can worry about, but that's what you choose to worry about. I don't know what it is with many of you, to be quite honest. If anything, I think that maybe we need to contact the World Health Organization and see if we can find a spot to put you in that book of psychological disorders, because the mindset that many of you have belongs in an asylum somewhere. You want to know why many people talk about you the way that you do? I just gave you an example, and this is one of many that can be given. One of many. I'm about to give you another one. I was going to turn this into a live stream, but I'll talk about it right here. Kill a few birds with one stone. I posted up a tweet on my Twitter account the other day where I said any woman that aids in the emasculating or the emasculation of a black man or a black male, boy or man, is a witch in my eyes. The next day, I get tagged in a post from J Dog, and shout out to him, where you had someone post a video of these 4 black males strutting up and down in a mall wearing women's clothing like they was on a catwalk walking in a Victoria's Secret fashion show in a mall with not a care in the world. And then I look to the comments, and one of the first comments I see from a black woman is, "They are very brave for doing this." I'm going to say that again. One of the first comments I saw from a black woman was saying how brave they were for doing this. So, a black man is brave when he puts on women's clothing from head to toe, from the jewelry all the way down to the shoes, the high heels, and walks and prances around in public to be some kind of caricature of whatever, because that's really all it is, for attention. That's brave. But that doesn't surprise me, because remember what was that basketball player that came out a few years ago and they said how brave it was of him? I think that was Obama that said that was brave of him to come out. See what I mean? That's brave. That's a black man being brave is him being emasculated and living in his truth, which is something they love to peddle. And I saw, like, listen, in that thread, and if I still can have access to it, I might post the link down below and you can read it for yourself, because it's still there. Reading that thread, I thought I was going to lose a whole bunch of brain cells. Between that one black woman saying that this is brave of them to do, and then you had black men that was saying, like, how is this brave and everything like that? And they said, "You're so misogynistic. Stop being homophobic." And then you had some black women that wasn't agreeing with it as well, and then they came in as well. I'm telling you, between the black woman and that academy, you two link up like a mighty chain and cause most of this destruction. I said it, and I mean it. And then have the nerve to ask why you can't find a good man. How does that work? How does any of that work? You literally praise the emasculation of your sons and your men, and then have the nerve to come out of your mouth, both sides of it, and ask, why can't I find a good man? Have you ever wondered that maybe you are not a good woman? A good woman can find a good man. But if you can't find a good man, maybe you are the common denominator. But since you like to deflect and shift blame and not take accountability, which is one of the things I talked about in my Are Women Allowed to Be Sexist series, you'll never see it. It's never your fault to why you're in the position that you are in. It's everybody else's fault. But when I was reading through that, I was absolutely disgusted. Not surprised, not shocked, because I've talked about this before on my channel. But the fact that you had black women and black people in that academy going at people, and I feel bad for J-Dog, because he was actually speaking some sense. They came at him. They screenshotted his picture and started making fun of him and talking down on him and everything. And he never once called any one of those individuals, whether it was a black woman or a member of that academy. Sorry about that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Not once did he ever call them out of their name, not towards a black woman. He didn't call her a B. He didn't call a member of the academy that F word. None of that. Because I read the comments. They screenshotted his picture and started going in on him and saying all kinds of mean and nasty things, because he had the nerve to say something about this behavior. And not to be outdone, I went to another thread. Like I tell you, it gets worse and worse. And like I said, I'm gonna probably leave the links to this so y'all can know that I'm not making any of this up. There was this post that got posted somewhere on Instagram. I think it was on the Shade Room, where it was saying that 45 is now looking to black men to help carry him over the hump or something like that. And also in that same headline, it says that he's given up on black women. Someone who who posted that meme literally said, and it was a black woman who said, Donald Trump says that black men are the weakest link, and thought it was so funny. But literally in the headline, it says that he gave up on black women. And it was a whole thread behind that. And out in droves came black women in that academy defending the Democratic Party and saying how black men ain't shit. You know, the usual spill. Like I said, 2 peas in a rotting pod, that academy and black women. I'm not even going to waste my time saying not all, because even that gets old. I'm just going to say as a collective. It gets old, it gets tiring, and you wonder why many people don't want to deal with your negative median net worth ass. Yes, we know you're in the negatives. You are not even at $5 net worth anymore. You are negative 13 something. I read that in an article from Black Enterprise last year. I will never forget it. I was like, wow. Got all these degrees, but got all of this debt. Saying that you're the backbone of the community, but the community looks like Tornado Alley in the summertime. You know why they put you in the position that they did? Because they knew that you would help ruin the community, and y'all fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Because look at it. Look at it. Just like that video of that black mother emasculating her son when she went out there during those protests when Freddie Gray got killed back in 2015. And what did they do with her? Say she was the mother of the year for getting on camera and beating her son in public because he wanted to stand up for what he felt was some kind of injustice. They applauded that. They never asked the father or give him any type of input on anything. They go straight to the mother because they know what position she's in, and they know what position she will give the people. This society has painted you out to look like an utter fool, and you decided to play the part. All for attention. I know many of you are not used to me speaking in this tone, but like I said, I'm equal opportunity. If one gets it, all gets it. And the fact of the matter is, many of you black women have been getting away with a lot of crap over the years, and we've just had to sit back and take it. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's a brand new day. And it has been one for quite some time, but many of you late to the party didn't catch it. And you see what's going on with this virus? A lot of this strong and independent crap that y'all have been on for decades, that's done, cut. That's over with. Y'all better start looking for a sponsor now. You strong and independent. If you can find one, because many of them have already decided to desert you. And it's crazy because many of you say you're going to divest from the community, but you can't stop talking about the community. So how much divesting did you really do? If you did any at all. No, because see, saying I'm divesting sounded cute. We are completely fed up with many of your behavior. And that's not just myself as a black man talking, but it's black women who are fed up with your behavior. Shout out to Kendra D, the Crimson Cure. I call her like I see her as like the modern day Shahrazad Ali. And I know that's a name that many of you hate. Many of you don't like her because she told you about yourselves. And that's your problem. You don't like taking criticism. Everyone else can take it on the chin except you. Well, you're going to have to deal with it whether you want to hear it or not. Because it's a hard pill to swallow. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. Many of you have been fumbling on that pill for years. Well, now it's your turn to choke on it. Either swallow it or choke on it. That's really all that there is to it. It's going to get to the point where I'm going to have to start blocking people. I don't care how long you've been subscribed to me. Because I do not like doing a positive video like that. And the first comments I see is them talking about who is the mother? Who is he married to? I swear, nobody in this community dick watches or pocket watches more than you. How much money is he making? Who is he fucking today? And that academy is no different because they be right behind y'all. They literally do whatever it is that y'all do. And you wonder why many are fed up with you. This is why. There's a few reasons why, but this is one of the major reasons. You can take whatever I say and run with it and stay, because I'm not going to stop talking. Or you can say, well, I don't need to hear this anymore. I'm going to go and listen to some simp kiss my ass 24/7. I'm telling you right now, I'm not that one who's going to do that. I'm just not. And see, that's the other thing that I don't like is these simps giving you all of this cover. For too long, they have bowed down and kissed your ring and kissed your ass while they were at it. Most of the times willingly, but some of the times you made them do it. If anybody else can take criticism, why do you think you shouldn't take any criticism? What makes you so special that you cannot take criticism or accept accountability? Another word you hate. That's your kryptonite. That word accountability is your kryptonite. Roll it into a stone and shoot it your way and you flinch. Many of you out here peddle black girl magic, but it's looking more and more for many of you like black girl tragic. And you want to know what's even more worse than when some of you emasculate your boys and the men in your lives is when you talk down and degrade your daughters and the women in your life. But you're supposed to be for the upliftment and empowerment of women. Now, it doesn't have to just be you talking down on her and calling her a B and a H and all of that. It could be for you accepting her bad behavior and not correcting her. Like, you're not making her better. That's not upliftment. That's not empowerment. That's enabling. That's two different things. Just like when I saw that video from that panel a couple years ago where you had this woman up there who had like 5 baby daddies and not with any one of them, had one on the way, but then want to get up there and talk about why a man doesn't want her. And instead of them telling her why that is, one of the women on the panel gets up and gives her a hug and says everything's going to be okay. That's not empowering or uplifting. That is enabling bad behavior. People say, well, the dad can control wherever he sticks his, you know what? Well, that is true. But guess what? A woman had to give him access to that. She had to consent to that. She had to allow that man to impregnate her. This woman was not raped. She willingly had 5 children by 5 different men and wonders why she can't get a man. Do you really have to wonder? Your stock has gone down. No man wants you except for a pump and dump. Like I said, the behavior is going to have to stop somewhere, but I have a feeling that not even this virus and this pandemic will be able to humble many of you. This is just how many of you were bred to be. It'll probably take a damn meteorite to crash into this earth for you to straighten and tighten the fuck up. Whenever that may be. If ever. I do, however, feel bad for the daughters who have to be raised by some of you. Because now that means there's another generation, another cycle of this BS. But should she actually be lucky to break that chain in that cycle, that will be a great day. Like I said, hopefully your daughters can, if she's lucky enough to break that chain in that cycle of whatever path you have been on for however long, kudos to her. Hopefully she can free herself of this atrocity called the sisterhood. I call it more like the sister girlhood. Because it's not wanted. It's not needed. It is not desired. And if a damn sure isn't worth being protected. Or loved, quite honestly. And see, I can speak like this with such conviction and actually mean what I say. How can someone love and protect that kind of behavior? Who would want to? No one wants that. That's good for court gesturing purposes, but that's about as far as it goes. And even that gets old and tiring and quite boring. It makes you look like a one-trick pony, and nobody likes that. People like variety. But what I'm saying for many of you is going to flow in one ear and out the other like a stream of water. And that's okay. You don't have to hear it from me. You're probably going to maybe hear from somebody else. And I'm actually being very calm because some would actually go all the way in on you. I'm being calm so I know how to choose my words wisely and you can actually hear what it is that I'm saying. But even that probably won't work with many of you. All I'm saying is this. Y'all are on borrowed time. You better hurry up and get your act and your ass together. Because for many of you, it's already too late. But if you had some decency, at least think of the next generation that's coming after you. If you have some decency.